right? Then step into the ring and take on Sting. There's me and my rival, Ric Flair. And there's a total package, Lex Luger. Check out the toughest tag team around, the Steiner Brothers. These WCW action figures are just as tough and as mean as we are.
Rick goes for the knee drop. Can Sting escape? Oh, he's gonna finish him off with the body slam.
The WCW wrestlers each sold separately from Galoo. I dare anybody to take us on.
Hey listeners, time for another edition of the Dark Match, this one on TNA's pay-per-view Slammiversary. I am Christopher Says, the Mastodon of Monotone.
I'm the Revolver Man.
I'm DigiFox.
And I am No Leaf Clover. And this is what is Ultimate Warrior battling about now. You see, I couldn't do this in one tweet. So, because it doesn't make sense in one tweet. So I'm just going to do it all at once and see if it makes sense then. Hold on, I have to spit out this peppermint. Okay, here we go. This thing going on between Terry and I is about something bigger than each of us. It is about you and the worth of your life. People can do better things with their life potential than others, but no one has potential than others to start with. All of us are born with the potential to do great things and live great lives. When one does, the right thing to do is influence, inspire, and empower other humans that have the potential inside themselves too. Terry doesn't do this. First, he takes credit for everything. There is no room for anyone else or praise for others. 2, he has not used his incredible life successes to learn from them. Grow wiser, be a better man, be a more capable mentor. When a man fails at this, he cannot be seen as a leader, someone to look up to or admire. Those who do see him as such have been misled. Given the choice between the truth and the lies, they choose lies. Life will not work if you choose lies. This is what I know of lies. This is why I fight, not so you make me like Terry because he believes he is. No, I fight so that you know you do not tolerate lives of lies. Live lives of truth. Inspire me. I succeeded at being a sports entertainer, and I am proud of what we did together. But to me, you are all better than that. You can do better. You can turn the world fucking upside down. I can feel your power.
You know, if Warrior didn't say, I know what Warrior was trying to say there, and if he just said that Hulk Hogan is an underachieving glory hound liar, then whatever the fuck that was, I think it would have gotten his point across much better.
Well, personally, I think that this just shows how bad of a booker and writer Ultimate Warrior is, because before he said he's going to tear a fresh ass, like, why didn't he just say, I'm going to stick my dick in Hogan's reputation?
Oh.
Oh, God.
Oh, talking about mixing
Summed it up like that.
Oh.
There goes that thought that's going to give me nightmares tonight. Yeah.
But reputation isn't a tangible thing.
I don't know. That's why I said I couldn't just pick one of the tweets. At any rate, folks, we are here to talk about TNA Impact Wrestling's Slammiversary 9, except it's really 6 event. We are, of course, in the Impact Zone, and our first match of the night is for the Tag Team Championships, the British Invasion versus James Storm and Alex Shelley.
I just want to go back a second. This is, well, considering there's like 4 pay-per-views that are said to be TNA's WrestleMania, I'm guessing Slammiversary is what they consider it to be because it's the only one that's numbered.
No, Bound for Glory is numbered.
All right, well, debatable, Bound for Glory or Slammiversary. Does Slammiversary look any different than an Impact besides what's on the Titantrons during the matches compared to how big WWE makes their WrestleMania?
They have a tail of the tape for some matches. There's that.
It's not a tale of the tape.
Yeah,
since
that's
we're
the
keeping
problem.
count-
We don't know what tale of the tape means.
Since we're keeping count, like, there are 4 WrestleMania pay-per-views. 4 of the pay. Slammiversary, Lockdown, Bound for Glory, and what was it? Victory Road?
Victory Road, but that was...
Oh, God, Victory Road. Nightmares. The memory.
Yeah, I will, like, I guess we could have the one concession or the one false concession that it was better than Victory Road, but again, suffered from, like, it didn't have, like, god-awful finishes or one god-awful finish, but it did have a lot of fucking shitty finishes.
It had very poor finishes. It didn't have non-matches, though, like Lockdown and Victory Road did.
Yeah, we'll definitely touch upon them, though. Like, the first match being it's a tag title match involving, like, one half of Motor City Machine Guns and Beer Money was understandably the best one of the night.
Yeah. If you're expecting something different, folks, then I don't know what to tell you.
And fuck me, all things considered, like, British Invasion, to my knowledge, were only built up as the contenders just at Past Impact.
Well, it's like I said before. Clearly, you know, they won a tournament in Rio de Janeiro.
Oh yeah.
That's probably the reason they're going to give on the books. But anyways, start of the match, everybody comes out. Then Rude comes out, bringing a 6-pack of beer, and joins the commentary team.
Yeah. Oh, good words of support throughout the match. And if anything, like the overall like feel of it was that, yeah, Shelley and Storm are very, very hard to challenge. Like it was a rarity. Like I don't know if Russo booked it or not, but like they didn't really bicker. They had like a couple of miscues, and they still ended up going over. And there weren't like a lot of times where you could say that the British Invasion had such an advantage. Like it was very much them like pulling out some impressive stuff, but nonetheless Shelley and Storm like really going over them.
Yeah, you know, yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I always thought British Invasion was a really good tag team, which pissed me off when they broke them up, and then it pissed me off when they put them back together because they did it for no fucking reason, but that's neither here nor there. But I think this match went a long way towards proving that, you know, they are a very good tag team, even though they were built up out of fucking nowhere and they weren't really on TV. And as an aside, I really liked their matching jackets.
Yeah, plus I want to see more of them. Like there's one particular spot they did. They grabbed. Whether
oh, you know we're never seeing them together on TV again.
They grabbed whether it was Storm or Shelley's arms. I don't remember. But they basically took him down in like a straitjacket hold.
Yeah, it was like I guess it was like a straight jacket. I'd call it like the straight jacket plunge, something like that.
Nicely inventive. Didn't really see anything like that before. Could be wrong. Like other people could have done it before, but nonetheless. Again, as I mentioned, like there was a miscue in the match. At one point, Storm wanted to spit beer in the face of one of the members of the British Invasion, but he ended up hitting Shelley instead. In the resulting blindness, Shelley ends up super kicking Storm.
I have to say, it wasn't until I started watching TNA that I learned that apparently beer has the same effect as acid or ink on the eyeballs.
Yeah, liquid in your eyes is fairly inconvenient, but yeah, it looked like he was hit with pepper spray.
Yeah. But again,
maybe Storm's like saliva has weird chemical properties.
Well, it probably was really shitty American beer.
Hey, fuck you Canadian fucks.
And you're a little bad, yeah.
Fuck you when you get your maple syrup and your Tim Hortons and your Degrassi Junior High. Fuck all that shit.
You had all that.
But although the entire match, like I won't stop putting it over. The sad thing is the whole like beer spot, the beer in Shelley's eyes was only like build up to see like, oh, I don't want to see this result. I don't want to see British Invasion go over because that wouldn't be a good booking decision to just give him the belts.
Well, yeah,
like we weren't worried that like the heels would get the belts. We were worried that TNA's actually gonna have the titles change hands.
Yeah. Ordinarily, that little suspension of disbelief would have been a good thing, but since we were like, oh god damn it, and we're not saying we don't like British Invasion, because we do, generally, right?
Yeah, I love British Invasion. Hell,
Yeah,
it bugs me how many good angles they had for the British Invasion or the people in British Invasion that TNA's just killed for no reason.
Yeah, so it's not like we're saying, we don't like British Invasion. It was just like, God, we don't fucking want them to win the belts yet. Can't they have can't this feud go on a little fucking longer? Like, we didn't want the tag team championships to change hands that way. Not because we were like, oh no, the faces are gonna lose, but because of like, God damn it, Russo.
The thing is, has this been a feud? Really, if you think about it, British Invasion's challenging for the titles, but they haven't been feuding. It's more like well, this is the job. We're going to have to fight them. I mean, that's just the nature of the business.
But as we said, the Storm and Shelley go over with like a pair of super kicks, and then I believe Shelley hits a slice spread.
I thought wasn't that the frog splash? No. Yeah, it was slice spread, never mind.
But, after that we have of course, one of everyone's favorite segments here, the Dark Match, a Steiner promo.
Yes!
No. We see earlier today, Kurt Angle and Jeff Jarrett arriving at the building.
No one cares about that. On to the Steiner promo.
Just to let you know that they've arrived in the building.
It's your usual Steiner. I'm gonna take Matt Morgan's girlfriend and rape her, and I want to be the DNA of TNA.
Oh Lord!
And rip his left arm off and beat him with it.
First of all, I hate that freaking catchphrase, the DNA of TNA. But the way Steiner said it, it had bad connotations. Connotations, sorry.
And as we go to their match, which
Scott Steiner versus Matt Morgan. This match was not coming off the fucking the first match of the night. God damn.
Talented tag team versus talented wrestlers that gel really well. Going into Scott Steiner and Matt Morgan.
It was like seeing Rosario Dawson naked, and then right after that you see
Tommy Wiseau's penis goes on screen.
Yeah, exactly. You see
Tommy and then he fucks Rosario Dawson's belly.
You go from Rosario Dawson to Tommy Wiseau's fleshy, veiny ass in like 2 minutes.
But
that's like to call an erection front end collision. Because it goes right back in.
To everyone's utter shock and awe, a match culminating a feud that had been pretty much aborted and then picked back up sucked. I was surprised.
I don't like Matt Morgan. I'm quickly finding out that I don't enjoy him as an in-ring person. He doesn't have a whole lot of personality. He's not very good promo-wise, and putting him in the ring with a guy like Steiner, it's
hard to believe that Jim Cornette thought this guy could be headlining WrestleMania in 2 years of his debut.
I mean, it's... Go ahead.
For one just notable spot I remember was when early on in the match, Matt Morgan basically takes like the back of Scott Steiner's neck and basically applies like some kind of nerve pinch to him. And then reacting to that, Scott Steiner grabs the back of the ref's neck as if it was some kind of chain reaction. I don't even know what the hell they were thinking.
It was like a Vulcan nerve hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say about Matt Morgan is just like, you can't put him in the ring with a guy like Scott Steiner because Scott Steiner is not gonna fucking bump for Matt Morgan. You have to put Matt Morgan in the ring with a smaller guy, and not just a smaller guy, but a smaller guy that can actually carry him to a decent match. And
yeah, even someone like Kaz, someone who's like pretty much middleweight, and
he's a 6'7", 300-pound dude who doesn't fucking wrestle like that. He wrestles like every fucking NXT rookie fucking does, except Daniel Bryan because he's awesome, and Derek Bateman because he's also awesome.
That's he doesn't seem like he's learning anything, Matt Morgan, does he?
No, it doesn't seem like he's gotten better.
But yeah, he ends up beating Steiner with the brogue kick after
the carbon footprint.
Yeah.
Carbon footprint.
As far as it's like basically now there's the Orton Slam because Angle can't claim that move. It's the brogue kick because Sheamus does it.
I'm waiting for Matt Morgan's new finisher to be a powerbomb called the Melting Ice Caps.
At any rate, it was a nothing match, and not only was it a nothing match, it was a nothing match that lasted like forever, or at least it seemed like it did.
I mean, 10 minutes, but
It's
which like
plot.
the kind of thing you'd pray for, like either on Impact or on like Raw, not SmackDown, but like, and even at 10 minutes, yeah, it dragged.
It
dragged
was
really fast.
plotting.
But we move from there to Jeremy Borash backstage with Jeff Jarrett, and Jeff Jarrett is in full on rage mode. I don't know why. He's just shouting right off the bat. But he's gonna go on Impact and have Kurt Angle's medals, and he's gonna dedicate the entire thing to Karen Jarrett, who's at home. Who's at the Orlando studios. I mean, at home.
Also,
Intel.
should we tell our dear listeners the real reason why she's off TV?
Why? It's so pathetic, anyways.
Oh, come on. We don't have to talk about her breast implants, but we could just say that Karen Angle got breast implants.
Why, Karen, I don't find you particularly attractive, but you were just fine in the chest region. Why? Let's move
Because
on.
I personally believe it must be a Russo law in the back that every chick in TNA needs to have breast implants. Because I'm trying to think of one that doesn't.
Winter doesn't.
Roxy, and look what happened to her. Oh yeah,
So,
Winter.
Well, I'd say watch out, Winter, because Russo might be stalking in the back with some chloroform and a surgeon's knife.
Yeah, but let's move away from that dark thought into the X Division 3-way: Kendrick versus Kazarian versus Abyss. In my opinion, I don't know whether it's like I give this match some credit. There was some genuine. It's like the standard fare type of like really huge threat versus like the two smaller guys who are trying to make an effort to take him out, but they did it effectively.
The problem is...
Except the finish.
Not even the finish. Going back, it's a problem I have with Abyss in general, is that there's way too many guys that are the same size as Abyss. So this dark, hellish monster image doesn't work for Abyss when, really, he's average.
No,
Yeah,
I think
would you take Undertaker as seriously as he does if he was only about 6'2"?
We'll see. There's also the factor of like it just depends on where his gimmick is at that time or what they book him to do to certain faces or stuff like that. And Abyss really isn't doing much beyond like same thing that Doug
Rawr, I have title Rawr.
And quoting Sun Tzu for some reason.
It's just with Abyss. With Abyss, I think you're right, Revolver Man, that he did. It used to be that like Abyss was like one of the bigger guys in the company, back in the Nashville days, and
work.
Yeah, but now he just this is a problem that Genghis talks about a lot. Is that it's guys who are bigger guys, and Abyss is still a pretty big guy. He's like 6'4", 6'5". He's still a pretty big guy, but they don't necessarily wrestle like big guys, like fucking Abyss, bumping for a fucking drop kick, and And this match, it's not that this was a bad match. It's just, it started off pretty good, and then it dragged in the middle, and then it got pretty good again towards the end, and then the finish happened, and you're like, fuck this bullshit.
But yeah, that's basically, like you said, it started out with them, like, really taking the offense to Abyss, like, in a very quick way.
They were really slamming Abyss around for a bit.
Yeah, as you'd expect, like, X Division wrestlers to do, and especially in this situation. And, like, for instance, but Abyss was pretty much no-selling quite a bit of what they were doing for good reason. Like, they do want to put over the fact that this Dark Horse is kind of rode into the X Division as much as he doesn't belong there. And
well, they finally realized how to book Abyss as X Division champion as the monster killing the company rather than just some doofus from Immortal, which I guess doesn't exist anymore, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, now it's just Bischoff Hogan.
I guess. I mean,
yeah, everyone has a feud of their own. Like they kind of disbanded unofficially, but like around the time that Kendrick and Kaz are really, like, their kicks are really starting to, like, send Abyss down. I think they both go for a pin, which I don't know how that works. If, like, that
both. Kendrick was on the legs and Kaz was on the chest, which if I had to make an objective decision, I'd have to give it to Kaz because you're supposed to pin the shoulders, not the kneecaps.
But yeah, eventually, like, towards the end of the match, Kendrick and Kaz start fighting, and faces feuding. We
back through some territory
from some booker, forgot his name, but
Shades of Grey.
But yeah, they start fighting, and go on.
All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Kendrick hits a drop kick, normal looking drop kick, and then Kaz is dead.
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's the drop kick of doom
from Kendrick of all people.
It's the drop kick of reptilian enlightenment.
Did he put his tin or lead in his boots accidentally instead of his head so they were weighted down or something?
I don't know. I don't care.
Kaz goes down like a ton of bricks. Abyss rips off Kendrick and slams him onto the ground, and that's your finish. He pins Kaz after a drop kick done by somebody else.
Yeah, weak finish, man. Weak finish.
I thought it was a botch at first, because that was such a transitional pin that was the finish?
It looks really botched.
Did they get told to go home? Did they have something more elaborate planned, and then they had to wrap up their shit?
You know what? I would not be surprised if that was the reason, because unless Russo... I guess you can never put anything past Russo, but I can't see these three guys, who are all veterans, but let's not take any away from these three guys, deciding that, you know what would be the good finish? Transitional drop kick.
But that match moves on to Samoa Joe versus Crimson after they replay the bar fight footage from Impact. Another feud. Same thing goes for Steiner and Morgan. Another feud they kind of dropped. They didn't really highlight for a couple of weeks, and then they're picking it back up. And
they realized they didn't have a show without it.
And again, how ashamed are we of Samoa Joe, like, regarding his
He's
work
gone
rate?
so downhill.
Oh my God! Like 2006. Could you imagine anybody saying, "Oh, great, it's the Samoa Joe match"?
Yeah, that's so regretful.
Though he was one of the best parts of the show during that year.
No kidding. When he was X Division champion, feuding with Christopher Daniels and AJ Styles, and then, well, some people say it was when Angle came in, but I disagree. It was probably when the main event Mafia started.
Yeah.
That's when he really started to go downhill.
Yeah.
And he started to go around with the knife and stuff and had
the nation of violence.
I actually think it was before that. I think it was before that. Because before that, does anyone else remember when they had Kevin Nash and Scott Hall come back the fucking, 16th time instead of 17th?
Yeah.
And Scott Hall no-showed one of their pay-per-views, and Samoa Joe did that shoot promo on
Oh
Scott Hall.
yeah.
And then, like, the next fucking, like, they didn't have Nash and Joe feud or anything. They did this weird thing where Joe and Nash become friends, and then all of a sudden Joe stops being, like, this fucking killer, this passionate guy who wants to be, like, the best wrestler in the world and wants to fuck people up. All of a sudden, he's, like, on TV with Jim Cornette bitching about his contract. Because Kevin Nash has convinced him that it's all about the money, brother. It's, you gotta get all you can.
You know, if TNA wasn't incompetent as it was, I would have thought this was some sort of meta joke about how Kevin Nash just ruins everything he touches.
Yeah, that's extraneous though. Let's talk about this piece of crap match.
Yes, we have Samoa Joe. You have Samoa Joe versus the still undefeated officially Crimson the Iron Cross Man.
Yeah, the umbrella representative.
Oh, that's an even better. Oh, great! Crimson has the T-virus. Wait, is that what we're going to turn into?
He's not Amazing Red's little brother.
Uncanny Valley in real life? Wow, that sucks.
Yeah, he's not Amazing Red's little brother. He's Wesker's little brother.
Wait, isn't the guy's name Alex? There's a side scenario in Resident Evil 5 that hinted at an Alex Wesker, but again, fucking most of the match was Joe trying to work on Crimson's like quite a lot in the beginning, and Crimson had like quite a bit of like high impact offense. Like he did a exploder suplex, he did a double arm DDT, did like a few clotheslines, and I mean, it wasn't. Again, like the rest of the match, wasn't much of a finish. Joe goes for the muscle buster, but Crimson counters and he hits him with basically a sit out power bomb.
Well, even worse than that, before the sit down power bomb, Joe was choking the crap out of him, and then he breaks it, hits the sit down power bomb, and Joe's the one who goes down for the 3.
This would become a theme. Stupid finishes. This was a stupid finish to a match that still wasn't any good. Just remember when Joe gave a fuck?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
That was a very long time ago. And not even just stupid finishes, No Leaf. Stupid finishes out of freaking nowhere with moves you would not expect to be the finish.
That's because they didn't really establish a finish for Crimson, did they? So
that's true.
Why not put it on a pay-per-view?
I guess the sit-down powerbomb is his finisher. They called it something. I don't remember what, though.
Well, before that, he was doing that Northern Lights, that tabletop facebuster thing he was doing, and no one liked it because it looked really odd and clunky, and it was impressive in some ways, and like, how the fuck would you go through that much effort in others? But anyways, yeah. This match was a testament to the fact that Joe has fallen from some pretty steep heights, and not only has he fallen, I don't think he ever wants to get back up there. I don't think Joe cares anymore. I could be wrong, but I don't care.
Well, let's hope we'll see the Monster Joe again someday soon.
Let's hope. After the match, they shake hands, but Joe does that thing where like he kind of yanks him in closer and says something that we don't know. We move on to a Jeremy Borash backstage segment with Angelina Love and Winter. And, well, I don't even want to go into, but basically in front of JB, Winter says, "Take your medicine, Angelina," and she's like, "I don't need that medicine. It may have taken me a long time, but I know now that we're on the same page." Winter's happy with that. They go out.
So okay, Russo, let me explain something to you. When you drug somebody, you don't eventually reach a point where you don't have to drug the person anymore. That's not how chemistry works. Anyway,
she's been drugging Angelina Love for months against her will. And then Angelina's just like, okay.
You know what? This has been fun. But
yeah.
What the fuck?
I mean, fuck the idea of like a chemical, physical, or psychological dependency. No, she's not going to take those.
Yeah.
I mean, once again, the serious, absolutely serious women issues that Russo has is just mind-boggling, isn't it?
And like the match itself was, despite being a Mickie James match, was hampered by the fact that it was also a fucking Angelina Love match.
Basically, I mean, it's what you would expect with Mickie James trying to carry Angelina Love, honestly, with healthy amounts of winter interference. Interference, I might add, that the ref was staring at.
Yeah, like parts for Winter would put Angelina's leg during a pin on the ropes, right in Earl Hebner.
I mean, talk about not trying anymore. Earl Hebner is not trying anymore.
Yeah, despite Angelina trying to make it seem like she's working Mickey's arm, I guess so she can't do a front face lock for a DDT. Who the hell knows? But despite that, not effective at all. And what was even worse about the finish, and even worse about like the implications about the drug angle. Well, basically the finish was Mickie does her DDT, but it's horribly fucking botched.
Yeah.
Such that Mickie James looked quite aggravated after the pin.
Yes.
Yeah, as I said
Angelina
last night
just-
last night in the chat, it looked like Mickie was going, God damn it, can they give me someone in this fucking company to work with besides Tara? And shockingly, Miss Tessmacher.
Yes. Who would have thought that Lacey Von Erich was a horrible wrestler, but a talented teacher? Maybe it's like the reverse thing. Like, don't do what Lacey does. But yeah, like, the botch was, she went for the DDT, and rather than, like, doing the hop and going into the position, Angelina just crumples into a ball.
She doesn't lift Mickie, basically. Like, it's kind of obvious that it was Angelina's fault. Because when Mickie does that move, she jumps up, but the person has to kind of lift her up and carry her a bit so Mickie can get around and slam him back down.
Mm-hmm. And Angelina ain't doing none of that.
Yeah, but to talk about the implications of the finish, like, if we're supposed to believe that Angelina's kind of sort of technically the face because she's being drugged against her will, and she does this horribly when, like, basically batting away Winter's drugs, are we supposed to get the idea that Winter's stranglehold over her is what made her so no-selly and completely dominant as she was booked on Impact?
I don't even think that Angelina's supposed to be the face. I just think that they don't know what the fuck they think. I think next week could be completely fucking different.
But if Mickie James was like thinking to herself, do they have anything for me? Well, after the match, Winter attacks her, and if that sets up a direct feud between them two, I will not complain.
Yeah.
Katie Lee's good. But we have to go from there to another dreadful Bully Ray. Again, the guy's like savvy. He's like comfortable and savvy, but like this fucking content is awful. Like Jeremy Borash says like you have a match tonight with AJ Styles, and Bully Ray's basically like, what kind of match is it? JB, last man standing. What kind of match? Say it again. Last man standing. What kind of match? Last
man standing. Like that.
Yeah. Man. Emphasis on man, because I'm a man and he is a boy.
I am a man! Punch.
He likes to play with little boys.
As we've pointed out many times, what is with TNA's utter insistence that they portray AJ Styles as this like 17-year-old rookie out of a wrestling school?
Yeah, when he's like over to the age of 30 or whatever.
He's like 33, I think.
Kid, you don't know what you're doing.
He's like older than me.
I'm older than you.
I mean, the angle is that like that's really Bully Ray's delusion, but yeah, you're right. It doesn't help AJ at all that he's in this feud.
I can't say it's Bully Ray's delusion because Matt Hardy did the exact same angle with him before Bully Ray did.
Yeah, this is not just a Bully Ray thing. It's been every fucking person that's feuded with AJ while AJ has been a face. It's like,
it's been Tyson.
You just don't know, kid. You just don't know. He's been wrestling for like, what, 10, 15 years?
Look, he was in a WCW right before they went down, so he has plenty of claims to like at least be involved in it.
Maybe if someone tells Vince Russo he's a WCW veteran, he'll get the belt again.
But yeah, and as far as the match goes, like I think it would be a lot better if not for number one, the bullshit of this angle, number two, after Bully Ray emphasizes so much about it being last man standing, they really don't do much about telling the ref to count. They don't have a lot of those spots where they're down and there's a lot of suspense. They only had that about like twice.
And there was not much hardcore until about the end of it. I mean, although I will give Bully Ray the fact that he gigged like a motherfucker during that match.
Yeah, it was like 10 on the nudist scale.
Something like that. He was, like, AJ Styles was covered in blood, and he was not bleeding.
Yeah, I didn't like the match regardless. I thought the booking of it was fucking clumsy because 99% of the match is AJ beating the piss out of Bully Ray. And you know what? If you don't like Bully Ray, then you're like, what's the problem with that? But the problem with that, and it's fucking perfectly illustrated by the finish to this bullshit.
Oh yeah, that like actually I was
where they have AJ beat the fuck out of Bully Ray the entire match, and the whole time I'm watching, I'm going, yeah, this means Bully Ray's gonna win because
he hits a Titantron spot.
Basically.
Well, beyond that, like this match should have been booked the other way around, and I probably would have bitched then, but this match should have been booked the other way around, where it's AJ Styles getting the piss beat out of him by Bully, but AJ Styles just keeps getting up, because that would prove exactly what Bubba was saying was wrong. That AJ was a man, that he could take Bully Ray's best fucking shot and just keep coming back and keep fucking fighting. Instead, they did the opposite, and it just fucking pissed me off.
I don't know if they kind of transmitted this the wrong way, but like I thought that they were trying to do something similar to the Kazarian and Kendrick versus the Best, that like AJ was doing his like flying forearms, his springboards, his this and his that, and Bully Ray was just pretty much responding by like no selling and just like taking him out with like top rope power bombs and like the more high impact stuff.
Yeah, well, speaking of high impact, we get to the finish where, as I said, that AJ Styles hits the Titantron spot. He jumps off the Titantron, laying an elbow into Bully Ray. And they're both on the ground. The ref's counting. AJ gets to his feet. However, what's key here is that the ref does not break his count for AJ. Bully Ray pats him on the ass with his foot. AJ jumps with all his might into the cardboard stage and vanishes under the stage, basically. And then, as the ref is still counting, Bully Ray gets up far less than AJ did before his spot. However, his count is broken, and Bully Ray's our winner.
I knew he was going to fucking win. I mean, I didn't predict he was going to win. But I don't think I predicted he was going to win.
Not even consistent.
Believe me, you can only guess what the crowd was chanting after that finish, and it wasn't, "That was a genuine finish." It was fucking bullshit.
Especially considering that in the little after-match thing, AJ was walking under his own power, but Bully Ray was not. So they contradicted their own finish with the after-match.
I mean, fuck that. I mean, you could talk about TNA being inconsistent, but fucking AJ threw out the springboard of Superman, the springboard 450, which took out Kurt Angle after a fucking long, grueling match for the World Championship. And no, it's not good enough.
Do you get what I'm saying by this match had been booked in the opposite fucking way? Where if it's Bully Ray beating the piss out of, well, maybe not beating him to death, but Bully Ray beating up AJ, hitting these big spots on him, and then it's AJ that, gets back up. And then Bully Ray hits him with something else, and it's AJ that gets back up. And AJ just keeps coming, and keeps coming, and keeps coming. And then Bubba ends up winning the fucking match off something cheap. That's a different fucking story. But instead, it was booked in such a way that it made AJ look like a complete and utter fucking pussy, and Bubba Ray ends up looking like a tough guy because he took every fucking thing that AJ had to dish.
Well, no, it doesn't make him look like a tough guy, because like I said, at the end, Bully Ray needed more help to get out. So someone either subconsciously or consciously decided that both men should look inferior at the end of this match.
Whatever, I want to move on to another match that really pissed me off.
Really screwed the pooch on that one.
Mr. Anderson versus Sting.
Yeah.
Although it did have a great opening, and I'm going to let you talk about it, Christopher says.
Well, basically, Anderson comes in and the mic drops, and he talks about, like, the promo itself wasn't really that good. He basically talks about how I'm going to prove all the naysayers wrong. Encapsulation.
Rambling, I like to put it.
What is he? Is he a fake? Well, I don't even know. It made no sense. Like, what naysayers was he talking about? He was the one that was being a dick. He was the one that was imitating Sting. And at the same time, like, all the while he was imitating Sting, except for the first time, they barely had any contact. Sting wasn't really taking it seriously. Just like, I got a match with Anderson. This is going to be a tough thing, but I'm going to get through it. Until the last Impact, where they take each other up backstage. But he's on the mic. He says Mr. and Sting just appears behind him as if he was some kind of apparition.
He's also... Oh, wait, I'm going to let you say that.
My God. But my first problem with this match is that...
Oh, wait, you forgot. Sting was dressed like the Joker.
I don't even know if you could call
it
that.
He had the Joker paint.
Yeah, he had the smudged Joker paint. That was a Joker look.
Black makeup on his red and white. But yeah, getting back to it, like, the first real problem I had was that for the first, like, 5 or so minutes, they're brawling in the back, which is, if they want to make this look even slightly, like, even after they built it up like shit, they want to make it look even slightly like a well-built and, like, match that's really sizzling. They have to have them in the ring. They have to have standoffs. They have to have, like, tentativeness, like, that kind of thing. And it was just this, like, huge swamp of them brawling in the back for, like, the first 5 minutes, to the point where Anderson is about to or rather, like, one of them's about to drag another into the ring, like, after this 5 minutes, and another drags him back out, saying, "No, I don't want to do normal spots. I just want to, like, whip you into the rail or to the crowd or to whatever again."
Well, the thing is, though, this was not... Was this a no countouts match?
I don't know.
Because if it wasn't a no countouts match, the ref was up while they were about 5 minutes outside brawling in the outside. I mean, it was strained enough when Undertaker and Triple H did that back WrestleMania 17, I believe, where they knocked out the ref and brawled for 20 minutes outside. But this just looks like the ref doesn't know how to freaking count.
Well, that seems to be a trend with TNA.
The refs don't
get
care.
to that.
Remember how they tried to make it an angle a while ago that, like, you know, we're giving our referees more authority and more power to affect matches. Da 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 da. Do you remember all that shit? Yeah, all that shit has just been forgotten.
Put it up on the counter. Another angle TNA has completely forgotten.
But yeah, the match was just, like, uneventful. Like, the only thing, Anderson basically tries to work on Sting's arm.
Boring.
God knows what reason. The only thing notable I remember was Anderson doing the Green Bay plunge, which he only pulls out, like, once in a blue moon these days.
We were watching the match, and someone replied that, you know, someone said, you know, Anderson really doesn't look good since he got steroids. And I think that's a microcosm. Yep. I think that's a microcosm of just how protected he had to have been while he was in the WWE. Because this is not Mr. Kennedy here. This is something wholly and completely different. From a wrestling standpoint, he's not very good. his promos have gone completely downhill. He doesn't have. He's bland. He's boring. He's just. I remember being excited about him coming. I remember being excited about him coming to TNA, and now I'm just like fucking. Why did I ever like this guy? Why did I ever take? Why did I ever take his side?
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson versus Randy Orton thing.
But yeah, and for like towards the end of the match, for God knows what reason, Eric Bischoff gets involved to basically break up what a Sting's pin. Like, I remember, I know that they're trying to like disenfranchise and bring down Sting, but like I don't remember them being for Anderson. Like I seem to remember, I guess they just want to enlist his services.
No. Remember that they already tried this when fucking Anderson faced 15 minutes ago, where. You know, they had Immortal sort of bring in Anderson, then Anderson called them all assholes, and they beat up Anderson, and then Hogan gave Anderson a blowjob in the back, and Anderson was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean for that to happen. And then Anderson came on his face, and Hogan got mad and body slammed him and dropped a leg on him.
And Brian Knobs was in there somewhere.
Yeah. That happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
That and I'm aware of that. It's just that oh fuck, I don't even. I'm there.
Sorry, I had to amuse myself because God knows this match is amusing.
Yeah, Anderson wins with a low blow and a mic check, which
a low blow, I might add, right in front of the ref.
Yep, and apparently that's not a DQ.
No, I guess not. Or was this no DQ match? Because if it was, they didn't say so.
Yeah.
And if it was a no DQ match, why didn't Bischoff just freaking kill Sting with a chair?
Because fucking
just does not fucking react to this finish at all. They don't react to the fact that Anderson's your new champion.
No, not even the Impact Zone. The Impact Zone that used to be the only place Anderson was over does not give a fuck anymore.
They don't give a fuck about much of anything anymore, I'm starting to
Do you blame them? Can you blame them?
This is why every Impact has to have piped-in cheers now. Piped-in cheers, piped-in boos. All the fucking time.
I mean, the most excited I truly get recently was a mean-spirited jab at Chris Harris.
Oh.
Yeah,
You mean Wildfat Chris Harris? He got mentioned on the show?
Yeah, basically hyping the match, which they consider even bigger than their world title. Karen Jarrett has a promo and saying like, "Oh, I blame Kurt Angle for my fall, and I'm gonna wear his medals once Jeff wins." Angle versus Jarrett, another match which I will actually defend. They did this in a very slow pace to like Jarrett going, "I'm not gonna take this shit anymore, and I'm gonna start doing heel shit," and then finish. But really, I mean, to have like a normal match after they had a cage match, after did they have a ladder match, or am I?
Yeah, they had a ladder match. They
name the match, they've had it.
I expected this match to be like a ladder match, being the gold medals were on the line.
Yeah, that's logical, but fuck logic in TNA.
We found out only that night that it was also a number one contenders match. Because Matt Morgan's not a good contender. Crimson, they're definitely not going to push all there. AJ, apparently they don't want. Fuck that.
Joe's too fat. He's been eating. Put donuts in the back.
So yeah. Also, it should be known this is in fact the last match of the night. Fucking Jarrett Angle got put over the World Heavyweight title belt.
Not the title match.
But again, like I thought this was a better worked match, so maybe they were predicting the future. Angle basically throughout the beginning was trying to do like sort of ground mat wrestling and like as his forte is, and Jarrett was trying to like take it outside and sort of be a bit more like Southern hardcore brawly, that kind of thing.
You mean like a heel? Holy shit, he's finally acting like a heel.
It's just, I guess the match by this point, I was so burnt out from the rest of the night that I probably didn't give the match its fair due. I'll admit that. But, I don't know, it just seemed like it was a good match, it was okay, but it still seemed like just another match to me. I don't know. It certainly didn't, I mean, the main event, the fucking world title match sucked, but this didn't feel like it was so great and important that it deserved to be put over that.
I mean, I agree with you. Like, and I'm only defending it in retrospect because, like, again, I was completely burned out. It's just that, like, looking it over again, I could. It definitely they worked their asses off, but at the time it's just like I didn't want to see it because I didn't care about the feud, which they'd already tried to shut their doors on in a number of other pay-per-views, and again, the rest of the night just sucked.
Yeah.
That's a good description. Although, I will give TNA this. They finally put Angle over.
Yes. It's done. Oh, dear God in heaven, that's finally over.
Thank fuck.
God damn it, this Angle needs to end Angle needs to end like 5 months ago.
Like, when I heard... Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought we lost it for a second. When I heard it was for the number one contendership, I'm like, fuck. Jarrett's going over, getting the title, getting the gold medals, and we're reforming Planet Jarrett.
Oh, no.
I will give TNA this. They proved me wrong on that front.
Yeah, that didn't happen, thank fucking God.
And for Slammiversary, where is the King of the Mountain match? You know, the thing that's supposed to be exclusive.
You'd think if you want to have the face, i.e. Angle, go over, which they did, it would be beating Jeff Jarrett at his own game. A match
King of the Mountain,
Yeah.
Why didn't they do that?
Because
that's a very fucking good question, Digi.
Hogan doesn't like King of the Mountain.
Well, it is a stupid match type, but it would have sort of made sense.
It's fucking horrible.
Look, hey, don't call
as our co-host Duos Angel has said, because that would be a good idea.
No, we can't have that.
Yeah, good ideas are verboten in TNA.
I don't like the idea of the match. Like, I haven't seen any of their past King of the Mountains, but like just from the sound of it, it seems like they're over contrived. Like
they're extremely like. Well, what other wrestling?
Do you know the rules? Do you remember the rules?
Isn't it you have to get the belt to the top?
It's a reverse ladder match where you have where you have to be pinned to be eligible to hang the title, and every time you get pinned, you have to sit in a penalty box.
You have to pin, not be pinned.
Right, you have to pin someone to be eligible to hang the title belt. It's a stupid match.
Like,
I don't like the idea of the match, but again, it would have made fucking sense.
A great example of on WrestleCrap when they talked about it once is that Tenay said the rules are very simple, and then there were literally 3 graphic pages of rules on King of the Mountain match.
Yeah, that was Slammiversary 3.
Thinking of King of the Mountain is reminding me of something. Upcoming is Base Brawl, the baseball wrestling crossover TNA likes to have, and allegedly there's going to be a motocross wrestling crossover being planned. And
I don't want to get
something. What is it with TNA and sports crossovers?
NASCAR Pro Wrestling.
Get Hardcore Holly in there.
They're gonna build a giant fucking pavement ring with tires for ropes. and Jeff Gordon and Danica Patrick or whoever is they're just gonna have it out.
Digifox, you and me are now at a disconnect for you wanting to desecrate the name of Thurman Spark Plug. Oh, yeah, that was Slammiversary, everyone.
Final thoughts, Revolver Man.
You know what? Once again, the TNA curve. It was a C+ show for me.
Digi.
It started off with promise. I liked the opening match. Once again, beer money, the best part of the show, and in this case, it was only half the beer money.
Still.
But too many matches with big guy versus big guy really dragged it down, and the ending was just boring. I was like falling asleep.
Yeah,
Christopher Says, what was your thoughts on it?
I mostly agree with that. They had only one good match, and the rest of them that had potential were only good to me in retrospect, because I could kind of see what they were going for, rather than like last night where I was watching it with kind of a disillusioned eye. But
that's because we were all freaking exhausted from this crap.
I've had faith now.
Yeah, and as for me, I wouldn't even give it again, like everyone said, it started off good, and then it went downhill quickly, and I guess all the it continues this tradition of all the undercard matches being sort of okay and not horrible, and then all the fucking upper card main event matches sucking balls, big sweaty hairy balls. Big, disgusting viscera balls.
Oh.
Yeah.
Doing this thing where he's smoking it.
Once again, it comes down to how freaking old, broken down, and washed up their main event is. Sting, Angle, Jarrett, Anderson. That's their main event, people. That's their main event.
Yeah, where's AJ Styles? Where's Kaz? Where's Fortune? Joe?
Fuck those boys. Fuck those boys who are freaking 40s.
Well, at any rate, because we want to watch a 3-hour episode of Raw, we need a fucking palate cleanser. So on that note, it's time for everyone's favorite game. It's time for everyone's favorite game. What got more screen time than Jay Lethal? Who wants to start?
I'm just trying.
I gotta think about it.
Cardboard Stages got more screen time than Jay Lethal.
The double pin on Abyss got more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Okay. Bully Ray's ripped, torn pants, which
God!
I forgot about that. I can't believe we.
Oh yeah. Or let's not talk about that.
Let's not talk about his balls. Okay. What got more screen time than Jay Lethal this week? What got more screen time than Jay Lethal? Apparently, Wild Fat Chris Harris got more screen time than Jay Lethal. Angelina Love's weird, underfed, nasty tattoos, HGH riddled body got more screen time than Jay Lethal. She is on something. I think she's on steroids.
She's on zombie juice.
But on that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, we must end. This has been
some Raw.
This has been. Ah, man, Austin's talking his and I'm missing it. This has been the Dark Match for Impact Wrestling Slammiversary. I'm No Leaf Clover.
I'm the Revolver Man.
I'm DigiFox.
Chris.
And Christopher Says is dead.
Chris.
Did he just fall asleep?
God damn it.
Okay, one of us will have to do him. And I'm Christopher Says.
He's the mastodon of no tone at all. Christopher Says.
Yeah. You guys didn't hear me? I was talking before, and my mic's not even muted. It's white.
No, we didn't hear you.
Yeah, you were. We didn't hear you at all. All of us can attest to that.
Botch! This has been the Dark Match. Good night and good luck, everybody.
Well, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
I got